Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bourbon Pour. I'm Jordan.
Now I'm Brian.
Today, Brian, we've got Larceny A124.
24.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
right.
yeah, it's 2024.
Yeah. I'm excited to try this. I actually just picked this up today.
Okay. Cool.
And a good story with this. Our local liquor store, we talk about all the time. Keith at Vic's messaged me last week while I was on vacation and said, "Hey, I got a bottle set back for you." So I told him I wanted this, and it's slow to our market. I know it's been out in a lot of other areas, but we're just now seeing it here. And he saved me a bottle. I went and picked it up.
Cool.
I've actually never had Larceny Barrel Proof.
Neither have I. Traditionally, the standard Larceny, when they first came out, Heaven Hill first came out with it, I have not liked that. I think it's a 92 proof offering. Just not my jam. There's only a handful of ones that I'm just like, but Larceny was one of them. But that always changes sometimes whenever you proof things up or you mix it up. So I'm anxious to really try this too. Like you said, I'm glad that Keith saved this for you. Keith, if you're watching, thanks for all you do, buddy, because we wouldn't have a lot of cool bottles if it wasn't for us. Definitely. I know we support Vic's really well, but Keith really supports us, so we appreciate you, Keith. Let's I'll let you do the honors here, Brian, since this is your bottle that I'm very appreciative that you kindly brought over. And then we need to check actually the proof of that one, because barrel proofs obviously can vary. This comes from Heaven Hill.
Yeah, this one's a little lighter on the proof, 124.2, not light, but in comparison to
their other offerings.
Right. So this always comes out the same time as the Elijah Craig barrel proof. So
which you're a big fan of.
In the past, if I had an opportunity to buy one or the other, I always went with Elijah Craig.
Right.
My budget doesn't allow for me to buy two $70 bottles at one time. So this time I went with Larceny. There's a YouTuber out there that I watch that just loves Larceny Barrel Proof, so I just thought, I got to give this a try.
Yeah.
And so if he likes it that much, because his palate seems to line up with mine.
Okay. We'll give them a plug. What YouTube?
Yeah, Bourbon Hutch.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So. And
he's in kind of northern Kentucky area, right?
Right. He's close to New Riff. The New Riff Distillery.
Okay.
So,
and Newport. So
yeah.
This is Larceny Barrel Proof. So let's go in for the nose. Kind of a.
You definitely get the proof. The proof are rye. I guess it's the proof. It's 124.
And there's kind of a good caramel there. There's
definitely an oak.
There's a very big oak note.
Oak note to it.
In fact, I think oak's probably the dominant.
Most present.
Yeah, oak is definitely there.
Sometimes once you taste that, they can kind of change.
Yeah.
You never know what the oak's going to do. Sometimes it takes it in a bad way. Sometimes it takes it in an awesome way.
Let's go in for a sip.
Wow, it's hot.
That is hot.
It's really hot.
That is hot.
Jump that. Right now, it's all I'm getting. So I'm gonna have to go for a second. Just in a second. I'm gonna have to. I may even clear the palate out, but.
Clear and let us know. Is Larceny Barrel Proof something that you really enjoy? Is it something that you don't enjoy? I know that last year, 2 of the batches made it into Fred Minnick's top 4 of his.
And I've heard good things about this one. So I think it's like I said. Hopefully, I'm going to pick up some elements on this next taste.
Right.
Kind of it coats. It doesn't go much past just the front part of your mouth. I am getting some almond. Nah, I don't know if it's an almond. I'm getting.
It might be a cherry kind of thing.
I'm still back to the oak and the rice spice. Rice spice are the alcohol proof is just totally dominating that one.
Yeah. I think that there's definitely some oak with that. There might be some butterscotch that comes through.
Yeah, I get a little bit of butterscotch on the nose.
Like a lighter sweetness. Of course, this being a wheat, Larceny's a wheat offering, isn't it? That might lend itself to those lighter sweet notes. And so for me, heavy oak.
Maybe a little, like you said, a cherry.
Yeah.
I get a little cherry there.
Yeah, a little cherry. Sometimes I have a hard time deciphering if I'm tasting cherry or almond in something. Those go really good together. So I would say heavy oak, a light cherry, maybe borderline the almond,
Right.
and then definitely like kind of a butterscotch note.
Even though I think my reaction to it was not over the best reaction, but I do think it's pretty good.
Yes, yeah.
I think it's something that probably we just cracked this maybe an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably should have maybe get the next pour out and let it air out a little bit. But I'd definitely love to revisit this in a week or two to see if it opens up.
I think that would be one that will open up really well for. Like I said earlier in the video, Larceny's not something that's always matched my palate, and I find that pretty enjoyable. And that's, right opening it, not spending a whole lot of time with it. I like to kind of really, really dive in and think about something if I'm really trying to taste it. But those first initial notes, I really enjoy.
Right.
So.
And just kind of give it props to Heaven Hill that puts out Larceny and Elijah Craig Barrel Proof offerings. All whiskey's gone crazy. Yeah. All the prices have gone insane. But these guys come in pretty consistent, $65, $69. May have went up a buck or two, but for the most part, where everybody else has gone up $50, these guys have went up maybe $5.
And honestly, folks, what hasn't gone up? Go to the grocery store. It's harder to put products out there for reasonable prices. I think this is a good offering from Heaven Hill. It might kind of push the boundaries of a lot of people's oak threshold, at least for this initial sip.
Right.
That if oak isn't your thing, both the nose and the palate kind of have that influence. Now, I can tolerate a lot of different variations of bourbons, my palate and my nose. So that doesn't bother me as much as I could see it bothering others. But, Heaven Hill's just a solid distillery. So props to them, like you said. So
yeah, like so the proof shines through. It may drink above what did we say, 124?
124 points.
It drinks.
It drinks pretty warm.
It drinks. I would say I would have guessed 130.
Yeah.
But I am actually the couple more sips that I've gotten into it. I am getting a little bit different elements out of it. That's not so much at the proof point, but man, that first sip really gave me that Kentucky hug.
Yeah, there's a little cinnamon now too, and that might be a little bit of the proof point.
Right.
There's a little bit of cinnamon, particularly on the finish. We didn't really discuss the finish, but I think cinnamon, and a sweet note that I'm trying to pick up quickly here. That I can't identify on the spot, but that's what I get on the finish.
The finish lingers.
Yes,
it doesn't
going.
It doesn't go all the way down, like I said, coat your whole throat, but it stays in your mouth for several minutes.
Right. So this is one you'd recommend.
I would definitely recommend that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I would too. So we're gonna end the show the way that we always do, and that is when you are with your family and your friends. Always share your whiskey.